What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Shannon. Y'all be trying to do my videos without my glasses. I can't be seeing the words and stuff. So today, I just thought I'd come on here and talk to y'all why I play in my hair once again. And for those of y'all who ask, I am using the new, I don't think it's new. I think I'm just late to the game. Mish. Come on. Focus in. Mish Tropical Oasis Anti-Humidity Gel. As y'all know, I live in Florida and our summers are also like our rainy season. So by the morning, it'll be beautiful and sunshiny and you'll be having a great day. And by the afternoon, you got thunderstorms and rain that just come out of nowhere. And so I wanted to try something that, and I'm gonna see if it worked, but I could tell it's gonna be real hard. Like it's gonna have a very hard cast on my hair. But I guess that's what you need in order for your hair to survive this weather. So join me as I walk through this thing here. But y'all, these curls is really popping. Look. Now look how that one there is just gonna do its thing. Thank you. All right, well, let's go. So, anywho, I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was just expressing how, let's say keep your hair wet too, so keep the sections that I do a little bit at a time wet. I'm just gonna wet the whole thing so I don't gotta keep interrupting. Anywho, she was expressing how much she hated how her feelings can come and overwhelm her to the point she just can't think straight. And I was like, okay, I'm so glad you're aware of that, because a lot of us are aware of how the feelings be trying to run stuff when in actuality, our feelings are ours, and they're like a warning that we need to check on something on the inside of us that's got us all up in this upheaval, right? It's kind of like our feelings are kind of like the warning lights that come on in your car. Now, if y'all like me, I hate lights that come on in the car. Like, it utterly gets on my nerves. I don't care if it's the windshield wiper fluid light or what. I don't like the lights on. I like the lights to be clear off my dash. I don't understand how people can just ride with them dang on lights on. So if that warning light, ooh, y'all, okay, if that warning light is indicating that there's something going on within us, then it's not necessarily something that's going to take care of that. We gotta work on that within us, okay? So I was explaining to her that's exactly right. You know, yeah, when your feelings are out of control, you can't think straight. You don't know what choice to make, and that's the purpose for emotional intelligence. Like, we claim it, but it's an action word, y'all. Emotional intelligence is a you know, it's not this fluffy like, oh, I'm always good. It's actually knowing how to behave when you ain't good and showing up in a manner that pleasing you or interacting with other people. That's what emotional intelligence is. It's managing your emotions. It's being self-aware. It's managing your relationships, you know, without letting your emotions run the show, and being able to check what needs to be checked within you. Because as I read this week, I always read Henry Cloud. Y'all really like him. Shout out to Pastor Vernon for suggesting him. I love when he suggests books for us to read. Y'all look at that curl. Anywho, Henry Cloud said, those feelings are within our fences. They belong to us. And many times we blame other people for the way we feel, when in actuality, they're only ours. Nobody will ever be able to feel our feelings. They might be able to empathize, because of something they went through, or they're trying to understand you. But in the end, they're your feelings, and a lot of people don't like to hear that. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna use a lot of this because you don't really need a lot. A lot goes a long way. But people don't want to hear that, okay? They don't want to hear that I'm responsible for how I'm acting regardless of what went on the outside of me. And it's the truth. And yeah, we might, be connected to some people who do push some buttons. But we have to understand and know what the button is what button are they pushing? Why is there a button there in the first place? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna say pushing no button. Sometimes it's just easier to blame other people for the stuff that we don't want to make aware of. Sometimes we don't want to travel down that road to see where this idea, where this thought, or why is this even, why is what he's doing or what he said or why does it matter to me? Why is it causing me this disturbance within my body, within my mind? Because it's disturbing your peace. And when you don't choose to, and y'all ain't put nothing in my hair. I did spray a little bit of, leave-in because I'm just like that. This one of my favorite little quick fluff and go, wash and go leave-ins. It's called Coconut Milk by Cream of Nature. Yes, I'm still old school Cream of Nature girl. It actually works really good on my hair. Anywho, and she was just pissed off that she reacted in the way that she reacted. And I said, first of all, that's a really good thing, because you're aware. You were aware of how you were showing up. You were aware of how your body was feeling. You were aware of what it was that was doing that. And sometimes the awareness is the first key. And then you can actually sit down and pop, that pause on purpose. Take a deep breath, be quiet. Tell the stories in your head to be quiet for a minute. Don't do the confirmation bias thing and call somebody so they can agree with you, so you can stay stuck in your feelings. Because most of the time, like, people say, oh, I had such a bad day. When in actuality, was it really a bad day? Or was it a bad few moments that happened in your day and you thought about it all day? I'm just saying. So, as I go through here and I'm doing this little style, I wanted just to let y'all know that warning lights are important. They're giving us a heads up that it's something that could go wrong or is on the way of becoming bad. And our feelings are the same thing for us. And some warning lights, cost a little bit more than the others. Like I said, windshield wiper fluid, that ain't a lot. I can run AutoZone, grab me some windshield wiper fluid. Some other ones might not give you no light at all, like your battery going dead or something like that. And okay, I gotta spend a little bit more money, or the tire need to be balanced, or I need a new tire because it's affecting, that little tire squiggly line light. I told y'all I don't like lights. But they're warnings, they're indications to let you know, hey, sooner or later you're gonna have to address this issue, right? And the sooner you address it, the better. The more you let it go, more lights tend to come on. More lights. You had the one little warning light. Like you got engine lights and all this other kind of lights coming on. We really don't be wanting to see them. So I believe that our feelings are like those warning lights. I believe that our feelings are indicating us or warning us that something is going on inside of us and we need to check it. And I believe it never comes from without, that feeling has to be rectified or resolved. It has to come from within, because that's where it's originating from within, regardless of our outside situations. Some people can see something going on and it don't bother them one bit, and other people see it going on and it done triggered their whole life story from the back. Everything from, oh my God, I remember when, and you're like, what? Like, for real. So it's really an indication that something is either not being dealt with internally, you've ignored it for a very long time, and sooner or later, just like ignoring them warnings, I've seen people put black tape over the warning light, y'all. And no, that ain't gonna do it either. Okay? They put that black tape over that warning light and just keep right on rolling. And eventually, baby, eventually, the car is going to break down. It ain't even gonna break down, it's gonna shut down. And I hope you're not going fast when that happens, or on the highway, or in the dark, or you're stranded and all by yourself because you decided to ignore that light that been on for a while. And I believe that's what our feelings are. And I believe that really it can be looked at, if power of perspective, in a different way, to be like, oh, hold on, let me go take a moment and check on me, because there is something that's going on inside of me that I have to pay some attention to. I have to not just let it ride. You see what I'm saying? No, we can't just let those feelings ride. We can't just let them keep continuing to show up, because our brain is so powerful. They know, it knows. Okay, I'm sending it to you because it's a warning. We need to handle this because it's getting big, and it's about to have us broke down. It's about to start affecting our bodies, our systems on the inside, like our nervous system, digestive system, can't eat, can't use the bathroom, heart, cardiovascular system, blood pressure all up high and everything like that, because of a feeling you ignored or wouldn't honestly and truly address the root cause of it. Does that take work? Almost cussed. Heck, yeah, that take work. That take counselors. That take listening. That take reading. That take getting in your word. That takes having a perspective shift in the way you think, giving yourself permission to think differently. That takes hold on, y'all. I might not be able to see all that good, but that takes understanding that some of the stuff that we have, these high, strong feelings and ideas and thoughts and beliefs, never even came from us. Just saying. Most of our beliefs we weren't born with them. They came from our environment or the people we grew up around, and those became our, like we used to say back in the day, our word is bond. If that's what they said, if that's what it is what it is. And we never took the time or had the peace or the space to sit down and be like, okay, I know he pissed me off when he said that, but why did it piss me off so bad? And what is it? Where did that come from? Is it something I heard? Is it something somebody said to me? Is it something that I've seen and as a repetitive, dysfunctional pattern in my family, and this is just how it gotta be? Is it control? I want to run everything. It gotta be like I said it gotta be. Is it your lack of faith? Is it all that. You just gotta sit down and ask that question. And some people don't go to therapy because they don't want to go back to relive what happened. But sometimes we gotta go back and relive what happened, because how we saw it and how it really was can be two different things. I don't know if y'all ever heard the story of the family, the mama teaching her daughter how to make a pot of spaghetti. And her daughter went to get one pot. She said, "Oh no, baby. Mama made spaghetti. She used 2 pots. So to get it like mama's, we gotta use 2 pots." Daughter didn't understand. Didn't make sense to her. But okay. She got 2 pots out. Grandma came over. Daughter was the only one courageous enough to say, "Grandma, why you use 2 pots?" And I understand that mine won't be as good because unless I use 2 pots like you did. And the grandma was like, "What? Why? Who told you that?" She was like, "My mama." She said, "Because you used 2 pots. That's the only way the spaghetti can be made, and that's tradition because that's how you did it." And the grandmama said, "Child, please. Only reason I use 2 pots is because I ain't have a pot big enough to feed my whole family. I couldn't afford no pots that were big enough to feed my whole family." So this whole time, her daughter been making spaghetti in 2 pots. That's 2 pots to wash, 2 pots to clean, 2 pots to kind of shiny, y'all. I'm sorry. 2 pots to do everything, making it harder on her when she had the money. She had more pots. Sorry, y'all. She had the pots, okay? And all this time, she was using 2 pots and about to make her daughter do the same thing when the understanding was never even challenged. Like, "Mama, why we use 2 pots?" That could come from how we used to be back in the day, you know. Shut up. Don't ask, don't tell. You mind your business, stay out of grown folks' face. You ain't supposed to question nothing, which I think, again, is not cool, because we don't even let our kids ask questions. How they gonna learn how to be adults to ask the right questions or understand and deal with no? We try to do everything to protect them from what we didn't go through and this, that, and the other. Sometimes we gotta challenge that stuff. We gotta challenge our ideas and our beliefs. We gotta make sure I ain't standing in this because something hurt me and this is how it hurt me. And oh y'all, this kind of frizzy. I'm gonna do this one over. We got to challenge the thought or the belief or the idea to see if it works or is in alignment with where we are in this day. Something that might have worked or for somebody in the 50s, it probably ain't working for you now in the 2025s. And you never stop, or you wondering why you keep going around the same mulberry bush over and 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 over again. Keep having to go through the lesson, the trial, the test over and over and over again because you're doing it with outdated instructions. It's like you going on a trip from California, from California to Ohio, and you're using a map from 1979 because you don't want to use nothing electronic. You don't want to use no cell phone or nothing. I'm old school. I don't want to be using all that gadget stuff. All right, you go ahead and make that journey. I guarantee you on that journey, there is something that is not on that map, that it didn't exist in 1979, that exists today. And you're going to be headed for destruction doing it the wrong way because you don't want to change. You don't want to do it different. And I always laugh in one of my books. I talk about status quo bias. And status quo bias is not so much as being with the right folks. It's comfort. Status quo, it's always been like this. This is what I'm used to. I'm comfortable with this. I ain't changing nothing. And I tell the story of my grandfather who refused to use his debit card or go to the ATM. When that became a thing, nope, he gonna go to that bank, stand in that line, and see the pretty girls at the bank, and refuse because the ATM was the devil. Might steal his money. He need to, no. And he refused. When in actuality, it probably could have saved him a whole lot of time. You know, he could have went when he ain't want to have to go. He could have handled it, you know, before Monday morning. But he decided, no, that's when I'm going to do it. That's status quo. You don't want nothing to change. You don't want it to be the same. That's the way my woman said it. That's the way I've been doing it. That's the way I'm going to keep doing it. And if you don't like it, move on. I tell you, y'all move on, because if they are refusing to change, or if you're refusing to change anything, eventually you're gonna run into something. You're gonna tear something up big time. Like I said, you following a map, and a whole bunch of landmark city streets that didn't exist in 1978 exist today, or don't. And you following that map that's old and outdated and antiquated, and here you are, tore up, lost, ran into something because you refuse to check on you and to understand that your feelings are yours and they can't be changed by anything external. It all comes from internally. So even if somebody being a butthole to you, they don't gotta run your whole day. You can go on about your business. Y'all, the shrinkage is real though. Y'all see how long them hair was before. But I'll take care of that later. And yeah. I don't want to see y'all do that. So take it. When you start feeling something, understand that it's a warning. Understand that it's something you need to check in your mind, heart, soul, spirit, and your gut to see what the heck is going on and where is this coming from and why is something always got me feeling this way. And I don't want to just be reacting up any old kind of way and stuck. I hate using that word stuck, but y'all, that's what it is. I have to think of another word cleverly to describe how I really feel, because people won't admit that they stuck. I can tell you when you stuck in something. That's not the goal with emotional intelligence. And when teaching emotional intelligence, the goal is to check you, to be mindful of what it is that is going on within you. And like somebody said, they called it the hard work of the heart work, because that soul and that soul, that heart is where all them feelings reside. And we have to be mindful that they're ours. Like my grandma used to say, they your nerves. How they getting on your nerves? They your nerves. And I just heard Joyce Meyer say recently that you can have a good life when everything is going wrong. And a lot of people don't believe that. You can enjoy your life when everything is going to hell in a handbasket. It is an absolute choice. And that's what you call, my dear, joy. Joy, 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 joy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this little thing here moving. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about what I shared today. And it's jail, baby. Y'all see them babies bouncing and behaving. We gonna see, because I know it dry hard. I could just tell. And generally, I'm not one for very hard gels, but I'm using one product, just one product. And it got my hair looking shiny. It got my hair looking shrunk. But can always stretch it out at the end. So, as I go through my day, y'all, I want y'all to remember, and y'all go about y'all, that to never allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. And when she said her feelings was overwhelming her to the point where she couldn't think, that's exactly what happens. That's when I say, never allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. If you are letting your feelings just overwhelm and confuse you, and you snapping on people you love, you're being who you really aren't, you know, you acting out, you're saying stuff you know you really don't mean, y'all, it's time to check that. Ain't nobody just gonna keep accepting it's just how I am. You're gonna find yourself by yourself for a real long time when you're not able to control your feelings. And your feelings is not a control mechanism. The only person who they can control are you. You can sit up there. We do it to our kids. We manipulate them. Use our feelings. I've seen mamas break down, cry. Oh my God, you about to leave me. I ain't know. Yes, a whole bunch of movies about it. You're over there and I can't live my life. Yeah, no, that's codependency. We'll get in that some other time. But yeah, they are about you. Your feelings are in your yard, in your house, on your property, and they belong to you, and it's up to you to decide to handle them, to learn them, to understand you, to see what it could be a blessing. I think our feelings are like a blessing that God gave us to pre-warn us of what's ahead, what's to come. Oh, this is a big section. Of what needs to be addressed within me, or what's coming, that I need to fast, pray, get in my word, get back to get my peace together, because right now this feeling got my peace disturbed and I don't like it, and I need to understand why. And that's not gonna come from without. It ain't just, yeah, okay, my bills is coming, I'm stressed out. But why is it damnation? Why isn't that, okay, why isn't it that, okay, let me check my budget. Let me check myself. Let me see where I've been spending wrong. Let me see where I can adjust. Let me see what's going on. Let me get serious about addressing my debt. You know, you can't ignore that either. People ignore their debt. Like, don't know how much debt they got because it's overwhelming. But if you don't address it, you're always going to be overwhelmed, and your debt is always going to be part of your life. So, and part of stopping you from moving forward because you refuse to address it. So, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. These feelings of ours, they ours. And if you look back and really are honest with yourself, every time you try to manipulate somebody or do something via your feelings or because of your feelings or because of what they did, the only person that got hurt or paid the consequence for the choice you made being stuck in that in that way, in my, you know, in that train of thought, it's you. And we sit up there and blame everybody else when it's time as adults. And showing our behavior off is to, like the old song say, I'm saying old, don't say old to me. You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself, because eventually, like that car, the warning light's gonna be like, I'm done. I ain't warning you no more. I done told you a million times. You will not listen. Go ahead. And I'm gonna shut completely down. And that's what our bodies do, our minds do, our hearts, our health. That's what they do when we do not address the feelings, where they come from, what are they trying to tell me, where are they trying to guide me, where are they trying to lead me, where do I not want to go because this feeling got me tripping again. I've been here before. Like, you're supposed to know so good your feelings. Like, oh, wait a minute, I've been here before. Let me go ahead and buck up out of here. It's not where I want to go. And if something or something is causing that frustration, then guess what? I can't stop it. I can just control me. Because remember, and I pray everybody truly starts to get and really understand, this isn't a saying, this is the way of life. The only thing I control, well, let me say it the way I say it. You don't control anything except your response to everything. And a lot of us think we don't control them. A lot of us think if we do this, it's called manipulation when you get up in there. And that's a hard matter. And you don't want God seeing no manipulative, controlling way of life in your heart. So think about it. He sees the heart. So if you trying to manipulate something or somebody to get them to do what you want them to do, and you're using your feelings to do it, and the feeling is I won't say you're using your feelings to do it. Your feeling is the sole perpetrator behind why you doing what you're doing and making the choice or the decision that you're making. Baby, the only person gonna get hurt is you. And then once you get hurt, everybody around you gotta pay for that as well. Everybody you love who's connected to you will have to pay a price because you refuse to allow your feelings to settle down so you can think straight and show up in a manner that will please God, instead of him looking down on you like, dang, that's not good. So I'm out. Maybe I'll come back later and show y'all the finished work after I dried and everything. I'll holler at y'all. Love you. Remember, your feelings can be a warning that there is something internally going on that you need to address. And the longer you go without addressing those feelings, and you sitting up there thinking it's because of something else or somebody else and not you, you're going to be like that car that's broke down on the side of the road. You ever seen a car on the highway in the most craziest place just broke down? And you're like, how'd they get there? Yeah, I don't want to see that for you. Don't be like that. Don't be that vehicle that just broke down because you chose to ignore the warning signs. I holla.